Are you struggling to get consistent shots with your wrist style release? Stick around as we dive into the Scott's wrist strap Jaws release. All right, you guys ready? This is going to be a fun little game. I want comments down below. You let me know what you see the difference between this one and the next one. We've had this release for about 2 months now, and I've got some tips and tricks that I want to share with you guys. Wrist strap style releases are probably one of the most popular when we're talking about beginner archery, and I've been shooting for a long time and still enjoy using them. So it's not just a beginner's release, it's for people who are comfortable with this style of release. One of the things that really attracts most people to this, it's really easy to operate. There's no questions as to what you're doing to make it work. The trigger simply makes it work. One of the greatest things that you can do to improve your accuracy is to become more consistent. When you have a release like this that you're working with daily, and the more you use it, the more consistent you're going to be when you couple it with a peep sight that's in the proper location on your bowstring. We've already done another more in-depth video on peep sights, so we're not going to discuss that too much in this one, but I do want to show you some things about this particular release. We'll even compare it to an older release like the Cobra, which was the first wrist strap release that I bought almost 35 years ago. Just a few of the features that I really like about this release: it does come with a really nice heavy-duty leather wrist strap. It's also got some sort of felt or something on the inside of the leather so that it's not going to irritate your skin or any of that. Next up, you can see this is a really robust design system, the way it attaches to the wrist strap. The next thing, which I think is really pretty cool, especially for a bow hunter, is this right here. The jaws automatically close back, so there's no question as to whether or not it's on your D-loop when you get ready to go, especially if you're bow hunting with this. I like how you can set that back nice and quiet and it doesn't make any noise. Whereas this one, I'll put it, you can hear it click when you shut it. This one, the jaws remain open after you've pulled the trigger. The Scott jaws closes automatically after you've flung your arrow down the range. And then a couple other tips that I do want to share with you real quickly about this is you can adjust this length. There is a screw right here, and you undo this screw and you can make this about 1 inch longer. And I have toyed with this all the way from the longest all the way out until it's all the way into where it is right now. The next thing that I want to show you, and another tip that a lot of people may or may not even think about, but when you're putting this wrist strap on, you want to make sure that it's firm on your wrist. I also put a mark on mine. I put a mark there because part of being consistent with a wrist style release, you want to put it in the same hole every time you go to use it, regardless of what you're wearing clothes wise. You want this fitting on your wrist the exact way every time. If you were to loosen this up a hole or two, that may potentially stretch just a little bit further and it's going to change your anchor point. We're trying to increase our consistency, which increases our accuracy. So making sure that you put this in the same hole every time is a vital step to increasing your accuracy. Now, with every pro, there's a con. So let's go over a couple of cons real quick. And the number one is going to be snap shooting. In a nutshell, what snap shooting is you get drawed back, you're on target, and then you just fire that thing off and you jerk that trigger. That can actually lead to a lot of inconsistencies. So what we're going to talk about as far as improving your accuracy is being consistent, and maybe even trying to come up with your own shot mantra if you're going to be using one of these trigger style releases. But one of the things that you want to make for sure that you're doing when you draw back and you're using one of these trigger style releases you want to make sure that when you're drawing back, your finger is behind that trigger. Because if you don't, you're going to punch yourself in the face. When we're talking about fitment, that's another thing that I want to show you. If you can look at this, it may look like it's really, really short in my hand. But once you get that pressure from your string and your bow and you're pulling back, you can kind of see now where my anchor point is, about where it should be. When I go to grab that, I'm using more of that bigger knuckle instead of the fingertip. A lot of times guys will be concentrating on the front sight so hard, their bow's moving around a little bit, and as soon as they cross over that X or that gold ring, they're just ripping it off. And jerking the trigger is going to cause you some problems, and you'll miss big doing that. But get you a shot mantra. One of the ones that was drilled into my head when I was younger is front sight, trigger squeeze. I also like to tell myself pull, 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 after I've already checked to make sure that my front sight is where it needs to be. Drawing back, my finger's behind the trigger. I get my anchor point set. I'm going to start talking to myself after I'm on target. I'm going to say pull, 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 trigger squeeze, and just nice and easy pressure as I continue to pull. I promised you at the beginning of this video that I'd also share a little bit of knowledge about this Cobra release. I use this thing for a long time, guys, and I want to show you kind of what the difference is. When I'm pulling back with this one, you're going to see how much more my finger has to be extended to even get to the trigger. And if you can see, my fingertip is barely touching that. In my opinion, this release is way too long, and it's not really adjustable. One thing that I do want to tell you real quickly, especially while we're talking about this release right here, and this is the newer one. This little head assembly has got a bolt that runs through, and I want to say I was about 50 shots in, and I was like, man, this thing sure is twisting around quick, but it had unscrewed itself. So if you get one of these, you make sure that all these little screws are tight. I took this piece, this entire screw out right here, which is how you adjust the length. Take it all the way out, and then you'll see that bolt that I'm talking about. I coated that thing with Loctite, and I haven't had another issue with it. But I will tell you, it was quite the shock when it happened. So that's one thing that I would do, especially when you guys are getting this out, brand new out of the package, and you're getting it set up and adjusted for you. Make sure that that bolt on the inside's got Loctite on it, because I don't want that to happen to you. If you don't have a pro shop near you, you can do the same thing that I'm fixing to show you by recording yourself. See if your head's doing any unnecessary movement when you get back to full draw, so that you can see out of the peep sight. All right, so we're back at full draw. And if you can see, I kind of like the string touching my nose, kind of got the arrow in the corner of my mouth. It's hard to really see my chin because of my beard, sorry about that. But what I want you to mostly look at right now is, I can't see out of my peep sight. Can you guys see that? How much lower it is than my eye? Can you see that at all? So if you're having to do something like this, to where you can see through your peep sight, it's in the wrong spot. Ideally, what you want when you draw back, we've got our feet, our hips, and our shoulders all in alignment. That's just basic standard archery form 101. When you go to draw, you're going to raise your bow arm up, you're going to bring that elbow over, lock back into anchor, and you can kind of probably see my hand, the thumb is right underneath my jawline. The string is on the tip of my nose. The anchor point is perfect. But that peep sight is about an inch too low. And I did that on purpose so you guys can see what I'm talking about. You don't want to have to, you want to be able to come to full draw and bring your anchor in and be able to look through that peep sight with minimal head movement. Now I'm going to show you one more mistake that I know has happened, because it gets all of us from time to time. All right, you guys ready? This is going to be a fun little game. I want comments down below. You let me know what you see the difference between this one and the next one. Here we go. You guys got it? You guys got it? You guys comment down below. Let me know if you like these little games. I like them. It's how we learn. But let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below. Here's the second one. Alright, what do you see that's different? Can you see the difference? I'm going to tell you the difference. Remember when I showed you that mark? That white mark? So that was actually the release was on my hand, and it was 2 notches out, which essentially makes this work like it's longer, which actually changes where I have to hold it on my face to be at anchor to get that same string and mark. And then lastly, one thing that I always like to do when I'm done shooting, you can strap that wherever you want on your bow, especially as a bow hunter. If you leave that thing strapped to it when you get out in the woods and it's dark 30 in the morning and you're set up in your tree stand and you're watching the deer come in, you should have a release with you instead of, oh my goodness, where did I lose that? I always put that latch it on, leave it on my bow. That way when you get ready to go hunt, you got your release with you. I can't express how important it is. If you have a local pro shop that you can go to, they probably have more than just one brand of release. So you may be able to try on 2 or 3 or 4 different brands and get one that fits you, fits your comfort level. Also, while you're down there typing a comment out, if you have any other video suggestions or some ideas of some videos that you would like to see, leave them in the comments below. I promise you this, I get up every morning and that's the first thing I do. I say my daily prayer and then I start reading the comments and replying to them. If you found any of these tips useful, consider giving us a thumbs up down below. Let's grow as archers together by subscribing below. We'd love to welcome you to our little family here on YouTube. We appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a blessed weekend, and until next week's video comes out, consider watching this playlist of videos that we've made especially for you. I hope you all have a blessed week, and let's get outside and make something happen.